Let's look what is a distillation attack using the latest example from Anthropic. And to understand the attack, we first need to understand how large AI models are normally trained. Companies like Anthropic build what we, for the sake of this explanation, will call teacher models. These models are trained from scratch on massive dataset containing trillions of tokens, text, code, books, and web data. Training them requires thousands of GPUs running for weeks or even months, and the cost can reach hundreds of millions of dollars. After this large pre-training phase, companies also run alignment training, like supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning from human feedback to make the model safe and useful. Where the distillation attack comes in. A distillation attack skips almost all of that expensive work. Instead of training on the entire internet, an attacker simply queries the teacher model millions of times through the API. And each prompt and response becomes a training example. For instance, they might ask the model to solve coding problems, explain reasoning step by step, or generate structured answers. The responses are then stored as a dataset. That means that attacker suddenly has millions of high-quality examples generated by a frontier AI model. They can then train a smaller student model on this synthetic dataset, teaching it to imitate the teacher's behavior. And because the dataset is already high quality and task-oriented, training becomes much cheaper and much faster. Instead of the massive cost of training a frontier model, the attacker only pays for the API queries and the smaller training run. In other words, the attacker turns someone else's AI model into a data generation pipeline for training their own model. According to Anthropic, they have seen industrial-scale distillation attempts targeting their models. These campaigns reportedly use tens of thousands of accounts to generate huge volumes of queries while trying to avoid rate limits and detection. Attackers also used proxy networks and automated prompting systems to distribute requests and collect massive number of responses. To counter this, Anthropic says it has built systems to detect suspicious patterns in API usage, like unusual prompt similarity, coordinated account behavior, and traffic patterns consistent with dataset harvesting.